Hi, everyone. Today we are here unboxing our campaign policies and stances. So, we're going to be talking about homelessness and our housing situation here in Washington State. I know when I'm down there in Seattle and I'm talking to people, everyone wants to know, where is the money going? There is so much money being thrown into the homelessness situation, and it seems to be growing. So my thing is, if we're throwing more money at it, we're growing the situation, and nothing's being done. Then there is a problem. There's a little constipation is in the system that needs to be addressed. Who's holding it up? Why is it not being the love not being spread around? Whatever that situation is, but giving more money to the problem does not solve the problem. So, um, I have some numbers here on statistics where it says about half of the homeless populations are employed people. So, our whole thing of thinking that homelessness is just due to drugs and people who are just have mental health issues, that's not the situation. It's our tax problem, and the affordability of housing is the other one that we're going to address here shortly. 28% of King County population is struggling to pay bills. So, so yes. So back to the housing situation of dealing with homelessness. Throwing more money at it does not help. But let's talk about the population who has jobs who cannot afford housing. We need to create sensible rent control. I know people feel like that because it's a capitalist society that we should be able to just do what we want to do. Having been a single mother who has experienced, number one, when we go to apply for to rent a place, there's 20 other people who are paying that same deposit. Your deposit could was not deposit, application fee. Fee can be anywhere from 50 to 100 and 200, depends on where it is. And if I have a deposit set to move in set to the side, I'm going to eventually end up going into that $50 for here, $50 for there, and I'm competing with 20 to 50. There's an unlimited. It doesn't matter how many people a landlord, they can have 100 people apply, and they're just collecting all these $50 application fees, getting loaded off of that. Then when you move into a place, my dad, he was staying in senior housing. He lives off of Social Security. He's living with me now, but lives off of Social Security. When the following year comes around, they're charging $300 increase on a rent. Where was the increase in his paycheck? Social Security didn't get no increase. So, and when they did, it wasn't that much to make up the extra $300 you're going to be getting for rent. So, where's this money coming from? Same thing. That's just not for seniors that they're doing that with. They're doing that with anyone staying in their homes. They can charge whatever. There's no cap on doing that. And I think as a citizen, we would say that that is ridiculous what some people are doing. Um, but so we need, to create something sensible. Another thing here that I have that my administration will do is we will petition the U.S. Housing and Development Authority to implement a pilot program in Washington that will increase home ownership amongst low income citizens. And we want to do that using through the Section 8 voucher program, because we don't want people to just get on Section 8 and just stay there. We want them to be empowered and have the ability to have the resources to be able to come off of it. We want to transition them from generational welfare to individuals who become homeowners instead of renters. And that goes back to being able to provide resources and skills and tools that people need to be able to start to change their mindset and their perception about what they can have and feel more empowered and believe in themselves. And we have to start giving people hope, because if we don't, then we will be in the same mess of pointing the finger back and forth of who owes what to us. When nobody owes anything to us, we can owe it to ourselves. Another thing with homelessness that I have here that we're going to do is homelessness wraparound services. We need to be providing more wraparound services. So now the ones who are have jobs, just can't afford living in houses, that's priority. Those are the ones I just got finished talking about. The next group are people who are homeless. We need to create, instead of, to me, we're wasting money taking people and moving them from one place to the next, and then putting out all of those big barriers that they're using to deter. Well, where do the people go? The people have to go somewhere. You're deterring them where? And all you're doing is relocating them, removing that barrier to another place to reclaim. And that's costing money, and that's wasting money. So we need to release some of these surplus lands. We have them in every municipality. Release the surplus lands. Let the churches and nonprofits provide the wraparound services in there. Make sure that they're let them manage and maintain those areas that they're in for the upkeep. Get We'll give them discounts for water, electricity, whatever is needed for these organizations to be able to function and to create safe spaces. We will also provide, like in the wraparound services, bring the mental health services to them, bring the ability to have ID cards to them, all the different services. We have veterans. I'm a veteran. Veteran services, have all of that there, because it's not like they're going to always be able to know where these resources are and get to them. And even though they do find them, they all don't find them. Right. Those who are wanting to get off drugs, those who are wanting to be rehabilitated, to like to transition to something better, we'll separate them out, start putting them into certain facilities that we have, because they're going to have to make an agreement to be there, because you're not just going in there to not want to follow the rules. And so for those buildings and those communities that are building these buildings for homelessness, they'll be the ones to be able to go right on in and get these services, and a transition out of there into housing and jobs and careers, because we're providing all of these services right there at their fingertips. Instead of being in silos, you got to go over here and so over there, and then we feel like we're getting all of this run around. There will be no run around, because it'll all be right there, pointing fingers right there to each other. I'll talk to you in my next video.